Welcome back to another Wildly Better Quick Talk. Today I want to talk to you about something you probably are familiar with. How many of you out there are multitaskers? In fact, you're proud of it. I multitask. I can do like 4 or 5 things at once. I get lots more done that way. I rock it. Yeah, well, do you know what? I got to break some news to you. Those of you that are multitasking, you're actually not multitasking. You're actually not getting more done. Actually, you are doing what is called fast switching. You switch from one task to another, back to the other, back to the other, and you do it quickly, so it feels like you're doing multiple things at once. But I want to tell you something, you're actually decreasing your performance. Yeah. So here's one of these little marginal gains we talked in a previous video about, where if you make a shift here, you can literally change how you perform. Sophie Leroy, she's a business professor at the University of Minnesota. And she began doing a deep dive and study on people that were trying to do multiple things at once. And what she found out was staggering. And this is what's fascinating. People that multitask, they're working on something, and then they decide to answer a text message that comes in. They're reading away an article, doing something in the office, and a notification comes across their computer screen that an email's arrived. And so they drop the reading and they go read the email. Sophie Leroy, in her research, has demonstrated what she calls attention residue. That when you dive into a task and then switch to another task, you have some what she calls attention residue in your head, that as you're reading that email, you're really not focusing on that email because your mind is still partially back in that article you were reading. But here's the problem. You get done looking at that email for 30 seconds, 1 minute, and you go back to reading the article. She says, on average, the residue you have with your attention being focused back on that email, it's going to take somewhere between 9 and 11 minutes to get back down to the level of intensity that you were at reading that article before you were distracted with that email, or distracted by somebody walking into your office, or distracted because you've not created a distraction-free, as we say in Wildly Better, zones of zero. Gang, attention residue is a real thing. Those of you that have not yet figured out the beauty and the benefit of creating zones of zero distraction, I want to invite you into this experiment. What would it be like for you for the next 30 days to walk into your office and to say, before anything else happens, I am going to focus for the next 90 minutes, that's a deep work zone, which we've talked a little bit about. I'm going to create a deep work zone where for 90 minutes, undistracted, no cell phone, no notifications, I am going to focus on the most important thing for my week. We will talk more about creating zones of zero distraction in deep work rhythms. But I want to introduce you first to the idea and help convince you multitasking's a dead end, and attention residue will eat your lunch. Think about it. This is one of the reasons why the research says that the average American worker gets about 2 hours a day of work done in an 8-hour workday. Do you know why? The research on attention residue. The average person is so often switching between tasks that they are spending half of their day or more doing nothing but getting refocused. Attention residue, it's a real thing. It will not make you wildly better. It's going to make you wildly distracted. I want to invite you into creating zones of zero distraction to become the best you possible.